everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. Today we're going to be building a little... I don't even know what to call this. I had such a hard time. When I was making the thumbnail for this, I didn't know what to call it. I was like sitting there, I'm like, water, no, paradise, no, just did that. Lagoon? Lagoon, I guess. I don't know. When it comes to like names and stuff like that, I suck. I have no idea what to call anything. But I guess it's a weird build, obviously. I was looking through, like scrolling through Google, and I was like, I need to build something. What on earth was I gonna build? And I started off making $1 million mansion, okay? And that was my goal. I was gonna do that. I already had a box of it on the gallery, and if you want to check that out, girl, my ID is in the description down below, but it's also at the very end of the video if you want to check out any of my builds. I have a bunch of them. I wouldn't say a bunch. I think this is like my 31st, like my 32nd, I don't even know, but I don't have a lot of videos, but I do plan to make so much more. I was scrolling and I was gonna be doing like my mansion, and I spent like 2 hours on it, and I was like, nope, this ain't it, chief. And I had like 2 hours of my day just wasted making this build. But it is up on the gallery. It's just the box. It's nothing special. I said it, I think, in my Japanese school build, but I was saying, or my Japan school build, I don't know what to call it. But I did mention that the exterior is kind of done. Like, you got like the basics, like you got the wallpaper, you got the windows, the shape, everything. But there is nothing on the inside. There is nothing done on the inside. And I was actually going to continue on doing that. And I was doing like the interior 2 hours, and it just didn't look good. So I scrapped it, and I decided to do this instead. I don't even know, but I really do like it. It's a super weird structure, if anything. It was super strange. I had such a hard time trying to figure out the layout of this thing. I looked at a lot of inspiration pictures on Google, and I was like looking at this thing in like real life, and I was like how am I supposed to make this? It's floating. You see that it's floating right now, and I don't have any like stilts on the bottom. I do change that. I don't know if I should have just kept it floating or if I should have just put like the stilts on it, but I never did, and I don't know. I think I shot myself in the foot with that one. I should have done it. But overall, the build itself is actually really neat. It's something I have definitely never done before. I'm still trying to get into the groove with a bunch of the roofing, like the roof situation. You could probably see in the beginning I was trying to figure out how to make this look interesting, and the whole like straight up wall thing did not work. I didn't like it at all, so I did change it, and now it is that kind of like that curved roof thingy, and I think it looks really neat. And on the side here, I decided to add in like my own like little area where your Sims can kind of just like lounge around and enjoy, because you know, you're in Sulani, you're enjoying the beautiful weather. And I didn't think that in the original, like where like the little pool is, you know, there's not much place to like chill around and like sunbathe and stuff like that. So I wanted to make like an own like little area for your Sims to kind of just relax and enjoy, and I actually really like it. I think it was kind of cool. Something that is a little bit weird about this build is the fact that the palm trees are in the water. I know it's super weird, but it just stuck with the vibe, and I had to sacrifice practicality over vibeness, you know. And you know, your girl she chose vibeness. I needed it to look good, and I think it does. I think it looks really, really cool. I wish I should have done this more on like the land, because that would make more sense. You could put this build on land, and I think it would still look fantastic, and you could probably put an actual pool in that like little I was gonna say squirrel. Oh my god. I was gonna put in that little square on that deck, but you can totally put it on land and it would still look great. I don't know why I'm building, like this is my second one in a row of building in Sulani. I think I'm just going through like a really like, I don't know if I'm going through withdrawals because I live in Canada, right? So I'm surrounded by snow like a good chunk of the year, and I used to travel a lot before this like pandemic, right? So I don't know, I miss hot weather. I have friends in Puerto Rico, and one of my friends, she posts pictures of her in beautiful paradise, and I get so jealous because I'm like, oh, that should be me. I'm like, you're so lucky. You get to sit there and enjoy yourself in paradise 24/7. Don't get me wrong. I hate hot weather. You're like, wait, what? What? No, I hate hot weather. I think until I get like, I don't know. I'm that type of person that really likes just wearing like sweaters and leggings. And oh my god, I wish I could sit there and wear shorts, but like I feel so wrong wearing it. My entire closet is just filled with just a bunch of sweaters, and it's just me, okay? I wish I could change it, honestly. I wish I could sit there and pull off really very cute clothes, but I just don't have like the bod for it. Okay, before this, I used to be martial arts instructor. So I had, I was teaching people, and I was a second degree, and I mean, I love how I'm saying like I'm not a second degree anymore. I still am, but ever since the pandemic has come arise, I haven't been able to train because I have family members who are very prone. And if you're like, wait, Jamie, didn't you just get COVID? Yes, I did. I got the vid, and it wasn't my fault though. But I did get it, but I wasn't in the house at my family, so like I wasn't near any of my family members, so it was okay. I used to be in good shape, and I still wouldn't wear like shorts. I wouldn't wear dresses. I'm just very conservative, and that's okay. I know they're like, oh, well, that's good, and I'm like, yes, I know, but like I want to feel more feminine. Like I want to wear a dress. I want to look pretty. I want to feel pretty, but I'm working out. I'm trying, I'm trying to get like the beach bod going on here so I can feel good, and I'll let you know how that kind of goes. But I love tropical places, and I'll still wear a sweatshirt and like leggings. I don't know why. I feel like I'm just like punishing myself. You're like, oh, you want to go outside? You want to actually go outside for once, and you want to be normal? Well, if it's hot outside, you're gonna have to sit there and wear a sweater and leggings if you do. Because you don't want to be normal. Great. Okay. Just a personal preference. I don't know why. But yesterday I went for a job interview. Ooh, job interview. But I went for a job interview because I'm looking, until your girl pops up on YouTube in like 60,000 years, she's got to find like actual income coming in, right? So I went to this place, and this dude was crazy. This man, I'm telling you right now, this guy was insane. I don't know why. I was in a group interview. I was with one other girl, and we were sitting here, and this guy is like, if you tell me to flap my wings as fast as I can to the moon, I'll do it. I will do it. I will find a way. I'm like, holy jeez. This dude was talking about himself 90% of the time, and I'm just like, I thought I was coming in here for like an interview for like myself. I feel like I should be asking you the questions, like, why should I hire you? Like, he didn't even ask that question. He didn't even ask my name. Like, he talked to the girl beside me a lot, but like he didn't ask me like anything, really, like at all. And he was so weird. Like, he asked the girl beside me, and he was like, so what are you doing right now? And she was like, my place that I used to work in moved so I can go da, 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 da. And he was like, wow, well, it actually seems to me that you're trying to play like a victim card going on, right? I'm like, but, huh? I'm like, if you're working for someone and they're like, we need to go across the country, are you in? And you're like, no, I live here. How is that making you sound like a victim? That doesn't make any sense to me. Am I wrong? Are you gonna look at me and tell me that I'm wrong? Are you like, this dude was so weird, and he talked about himself 90% of the time. He was very narcissistic, very like very weird, but very like interesting. I walked out of the interview afterwards and I was like, what did I just get into? Like, this dude was so weird, super weird. Barely asked me any questions, and then I found out that I had to pay like $600 to get into this like program to even start working for them, that I'm planning on hoping not to work for them like forever, because it's just a job, it's not a career, you know. And that's the thing that I do remember a lot too, and I think a lot of people forget, is that, you know, you go to a job and you're like, oh, I'm gonna be here my entire life. No, you don't have to. It's a job, not a career. A career is something you wake up to and you just get out of bed and you're like, I want to be here. I'm so happy to be here. This is what I want to do. You know, a job is just something temporary, and that's okay. And that's just the way that I look on things. I know a lot of people don't have the same thing, but like, it's not set in stone to do these certain things. It's your life. You choose whatever you want. And again, like, this guy was kind of giving me that kind of talk, and I was like, is this an interview, or is this like some group session to make me get into the stock market? Like, what are you selling to me, you know? But I mean, I guess it does make sense. He's a salesman, but he's also like an inspirational talker. But he was like, you don't understand who's sitting in front of you right now or what I'm capable of. I was like, bro, you don't even know who you sit in front of. Like, out of here. Like, you don't know who I am. And he looked at me and he's like, I probably scared the absolute poop out of you. I was like, bro, the only person that scares me is my mother. You don't scare me. I was like, no, you don't scare me at all, but I find you very interesting. And he was like, yeah, a lot of people do find me very interesting. Either they like it or they absolutely hate me. And I was like, huh, I wonder why. But he was super weird. But he asked me, and he got really deep for a second. He's like, what do you really want to do? And I was like, I wanted to get into voice acting, and that's what I mentioned too in my high school. I think that was part 2. I mentioned, I was like, I want to get into voice acting. He was like, then you get into voice acting. You get in contact with so many people. I was like, oh, I am. I'm talking to a guy right now in Toronto for a director type dude, and he's like, then you get in contact with 60 of them. If you have to move to Ohio, you do it. I was like, what is even I'm trying to get a job, bro. Like, what are you I'm like, okay, like, don't get me wrong, this dude was super weird, but it was such a cool experience. It was super weird. I even came out of it, and I talked to my boyfriend as soon as I got out, and I was like, he was like, how did it go? And I was like, good. No, I don't know. Did it do good? And he was like, did it? And I was like, no. But I learned a lot. I learned that the dude was super crazy. And the girl beside me, she was like, I'll do it. I'll join your thingy and pay $600 and pay for books in a program. And then he was like, great, you're my new project. And I was like, oh my God. And it was so strange. And the girl that was there, she was like, do I know you? And I was like, I don't know, but you look really familiar. And she's like, what's your Instagram? And I was like, yeah, I want to keep tabs on you. I'll give you my Instagram. I want to know what this dude does to you. Really, though, I'm very curious. Apparently, this man also has a company, like a website online. And he was like, I also have a website. And you should have, looked that up and learned about me before you coming here. And I pay my daughter $50,000 for her to take care of her family because money is no object to me. I don't care. I'm like, what is even, oh my God. If this sounds confusing, imagine being there. This dude was crazy. I don't understand what was going on, but again, it was an experience. And I took something out of it. And even though I didn't get it, I didn't stay. I was, as soon as I came out, I was like, this isn't for me. But you know what? If you go somewhere and something happens that you didn't expect it to, but you get something out of it, then it was worth it, right? You always learn from things, and that's the thing too, is like everything happens for a reason. And that I'm a firm believer. Everything happens for a reason. Just because everything in my life has always happened for a reason. So always remember that, and make sure to do what you want to do, because it's your life, right? All right, I'll see you all later. Bye, everybody.